Hey guys, it's Lisa the Whimsical Gardener. So I want to give you guys a late garden tour, a late July garden tour that is. We've been having a lot of rain, so I'm trying to film this in between the rain. It happens to be sunny right now, so I'm going to take advantage of that and just give you guys a tour of the yard. Now this is the time of the season where everything has gone wild. You don't see patterns of stuff. Everything has just gotten its own mind, and I'm just letting it do its thing. And so this is it. So we'll start at the front of the house first. And at the front of the house, I have a container garden. You cannot even know that I have containers if you look at this. And you cannot even see the groupings or anything because everything just has a mind of its own. So, but I will go around and give you some highlights of things that are blooming at the end of July. So let's start at the front bed over here, and then we'll come over here and we'll kind of go around and give you a look of everything. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section, and I'll answer it as soon as I can. I would love if you can subscribe to the channel, share it with a gardening friend too as well. So let's start in the front here. So currently at the front of the house, the star of the show at this particular point is the summerific hibiscus, which is what you see behind me. This is the proven winner summerific hibiscus. Now this area here usually have morning sun, morning shade, afternoon sun. So it will start getting some sun around 11, 12 o'clock-ish, 1 o'clock-ish, around there. And then it'll get sun to about 4 p.m.-ish or so, and then it's all in shade. So this is a part shade bed. Now my hostas that you see back here are getting a little bit sun scorched, but they're still looking good, to be honest. My rose that I have over there, I'll turn around and show you. I do need to trim that severely, so that project is coming up. Stay tuned. My firelight hydrangea have bloomed, and then the colors are starting to change a little bit, so I'll give you an overview of that. My smoke bush is doing pretty good. The lily, the stargazer lilies are done blooming. I can see weeds as I'm filming this, guys. It's okay, it is what it is. We did plant some dahlias over there, which is now coming up, and some zinnias are coming up too as well. But yep, this is the front of the bed. Star of the show, again, is the sunflower. So let me bring that, not sunflower, hibiscus. So let me bring that around so you guys can see it. Overview of everything. And the willow tree has all grown out, and as you can see, it's touching the ground. So I haven't pruned it. I left it on purpose that way as well. But let's show you this hibiscus. How gorgeous is it? Beautiful, isn't it? And again, I have to show you the size of my hands. Look at the size of my hands compared to the flower. Gorgeous. And then my smoke bush is doing pretty good. Up here you can see the firelight hydrangea. These are some self-seeded cleome. I'm just leaving them to do their thing. And look from here. Now the front of my entrance, let's pan out so you can see that. We just did a project on this. So my Norway spruce is doing really good. And these, I think they're called black knight coleus. So I might be wrong, everybody. But if you remember when we planted them, they were very small. So I kept pinching the top, and look how much it has grown out. Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. Look at it. And Rebecca, we grow from seeds. Doing great. I want to give you an update on the Heuchera project. Notice how they're growing. All new babies. So they're doing pretty good. Over here, this one is starting to grow little babies right there. So it's rebounding. All of these are rebounding as well, which is normal for it to do that. Japanese maple, stunning, stunning, stunning. Leaves are great. And my weeping atlas cedar has little candles. View from this way. Again, everything has its own mind. Do want to show you one of my hostas are blooming. Isn't it stunning? Gorgeous. Now our mahogany splendor hibiscus, it looks a little bit wilted, but that's fine for right now. because it's all sun. That happens when it's in all sun. But it has grown tremendously. This will be my fall color. And I've pinched it so it bunches out like how you see it there. And we did some work and trim a whole bunch of the what do you call it, the yellow archangel, because it was looking a little bit crazy, and now that gives the nasturtium some chance to grow. And look at the trailing of the nasturtium, everybody. It's beautiful, isn't it? Looking at it from this angle, still have lots of blooms and all of that. Everything is it's struggling to survive with the heat that we have, but our verbena has come back for a second flush. These self-seeded, and I'm just letting them do their little thing here. These salvia as well, self-seeded. We did this Rebecca from seed. Our Joe Pye weed is now starting to produce flower heads. I have to say this is probably my favorite container this year. I had to cut back the Lobelia, it was done blooming. But look at the Dichondra Silver Falls. Isn't that stunning? Stunning, stunning. My spirea is coming back for a second flush. Now what I've been doing is cutting back things that are done, and plants that I have in containers, I'm just staging them. So for example, this one here, I just cut out the verbena yesterday. I need to plant that in there, but this all looks like a jungle. It's fine. And guys, I have a self-seeded eggplant. I didn't plant up here, that's growing. I'm just leaving it. This particular container, we have scabiosa that we grow from seed, marigolds, more scabiosa. This is the black-eyed Susan, the Indian summer that we grew from seed. And as you can see, Angelonia is doing good, Alternanthera is doing good. And here's where we can't tell where my design comes in or not, because everything's just growing together. On this end, these containers are still looking good. My pride and joy, of course, is this particular container. Look at the Alternanthera. I've pinched it back again so it could bush out. Look at the Zinnia. This is Plectranthus. Dahlia is still doing pretty good, but everything is like struggling. And we just cut back this bubblegum so it could bloom back again. And here are my rose. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. And I got some echinaceas that I just put them in there for right now. One of the projects you'll have to stay tuned for is I'm going to bring some of the geraniums from the bottom by the willow tree up to the front here to fill in some of the containers. So guys, as you can see, everything has a mind of its own in front here. Everything is all overgrown. The nice and neatness we saw in June doesn't exist anymore. This is the reality of what a garden looks like. So, but on the plus side, we have greenery and there's no empty containers, and there's lots of blooms too that's coming in. But this is where typically in July everything is kind of a little bit stunted because of the heat, and then once it start cooling back in, they'll have like a little second flush of things. So let's move on to the stone step garden bed area and show you what that looks like. Alright guys, so for this grouping of container that's by the garage, they're actually doing much better in my opinion compared to the other one over there. And I think the reason why they're doing a little bit better is these are on drip irrigation. So I have tubes that are going to this drip tube, and I think they're doing much better. So the bubblegum petunia we cut back in one of our previous shorts. It's doing amazing. The grass finally has blooms. Zinnia is growing out really nice. My echinacea is coming towards the end of its cycle, but I'm gonna leave it because I want the seeds to scatter in the yard. Then Alternanthera and Pentas, everything's looking pretty good in my opinion for this one. The Dahlias, I'm not so happy with the Dahlias over here because it hasn't produced the way I thought it was produced, so I don't think I'm gonna grow that one back next year, but you know. So on a couple of videos ago, we actually cleared this bed because our Darrow was done blooming. What is happening now is the salvias that we cut back, the Veronica as well. They're now starting to bloom. I'll bring it a little closer so you can see. My butterfly plant is actually doing really great. Do I need to stake it again? I'm not really sure. It's filled with blooms, and I think everything is starting to flush back out. Our echinacea up front here is doing pretty good. I may just need to bite the bullet and cut this Veronica down after the second set of flush because it's so tall and heavy, it's flopping over. And our prairie wind grass is also flopping over. I love how our, our lamb's ear is doing flanking on both sides. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm saying, but I'll swing the camera around and just give you a look at that. I'm standing here and I can see probably 10 to 15 bees on the salvia and the veronica and this butterfly plant as well. So yeah, we're in pollinator season, you guys. Love the plumes of the fountain grass, just gorgeous. And then over here I cut back the lobelia, but Alternanthera is looking pretty good. Not so fond of this Dahlia, but the Pentas are looking pretty good. So are the Zinnias. Giving you a little bit of a better look at this bed. The veronica that we cut back in on the previous video is doing good. Salvia is starting to give its second set of flush. Some of the echinaceas are coming back too. Same thing with the veronica. Love the lamb's ear as well. Alright, so an overview of what the stone step garden bed looks like. I'm actually standing on my neighbor's side so I can give you a full view of everything. Again, everything has a mind of its own this time of the year. I'm gonna try to see if I can go stand next to the hibiscus. That's probably like 15 feet tall. The canna lily I had to tie back up. Look at this, a Rosa Sharon. And our Japanese maple. And the Rebecca, obviously. This is their season. And mine actually self-seeded on the neighbor side. So now we have self-seeded Rebecca. So I'm walking down the stone step garden bed area. We've had some very, very heavy rain, so all of my plants are kind of beaten down a little bit. Mahogany, Splendor, Hibiscus, that's there. Of course, you got a Rebecca. And of course, I want to show you the Rosa Sharon. Not this side here, guys. Look at this Hibiscus. And normally these canna lilies, I see them like probably like 4 to 5 feet tall at the places that I see them planted. These things are like 15 feet tall, you guys. I'm gonna put a camera so I can walk back there and show you how tall these are. And of course, the hot fuzz, Buddleia is looking stunning. I gotta come trim it back. Coming from this side with the Rosa Sharon, my ostrich fern is doing really nice. I love, love, love this fern. Look at this. I have a little bit of a bald spot here, but that's fine. I've got stuff I can put there. Look at the Japanese maple. And guys, our amaranth, look at that. They have tassels. How cool is that? This side, we got more Echinacea. This is the brain celosia that I grew a couple years ago, and it's self-seeded. More anemones here. I got a self-seeded buddleia. I wanted to show you guys. And it's blooming, so I'm just letting it grow because I'll dig that up and plant it somewhere else. Our self-seeded amaranth. Guys, how gorgeous is this, right? And this side has a mind of its own, everybody. There's no organization happening here. All right, everything has fallen over, and it is what it is at this point. This is my Akiba, I believe, that's growing here with some sedums. Guys, I've set the camera up, and I'm gonna attempt to go and show you guys how tall these things are over here. The key is attempting. All right, let's see. Can you guys see me? So I am 5'3", and this is how tall it is. What would you say, 12 feet, maybe? It's crazy. Guys, you know how I mentioned that everything now has a mind of its own in the July? That's exactly what I'm seeing here in the willow tree bed garden area. So the willow tree is now touching the ground. This is my second time pruning it, but on purpose this year, I'm actually going to leave it because every year I just keep trimming it, and I want to see what it looks like coming all the way down. So I'm going to leave it as is this year, but what you can see is our American beautyberry, my hydrangeas, all of that is basically out of control, everybody. That's all that I can say. My bed down this way, which I'll show you guys as well, is starting to fill in really nicely. You can sort of see a little bit of organization of what my plan was, and sometimes you can't. So if you recall, we actually did a bed and outline a curved bed over here. It's starting to fill in a little bit. I still have lots of extra space. I'm going to be redoing, taking out a raised bed that I have there, and I've got an idea of things that I needed to do, but sort of from this area, it looks good. The Echinacea we transplanted is still alive. They're actually flowering right now. But let's just give you a little bit more look of what things look like. So our hostas here are still doing good. Some of our what do you call it, dahlia from last year came back. I can see some, don't know what that's called, we'll have to put the name of it on there, blooming. I got salvia that's blooming. My lamb's ear is okay, flanked by the willow tree. Guys, I'm doing a great job giving you a tour, am I not? All right, let's look and see what else we got going on. All right, so this area has our American beautyberry, which is loaded with beautyberry, everybody. And the flowers are starting to come off on the top part of it there. This plant is ridiculous. I have some sedums under here. I'm going to have to transplant some stuff because this is year 2 in my garden, and look at it, it's taken over. But it's beautiful. And guys, I have lots of little American beautyberries plant that has self-seeded, which is amazing. This one here is my Artemisia that I'm going to cut back again spring of next year, and it'll rebloom, but it gives a really nice contrast here with the American beautyberry and the lamb's ear. Poor lamb's ear, you guys. American beautyberry is taking over everything, but it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's actually taller than I am this year. This is my second year having it. But I absolutely love it, everyone. I'm attempting to take the willow tree branch out of your view so you can see what I'm trying to show you. But my firelight hydrangea has bloomed, and I thought that the stems were a little bit stronger, but it's not. I've already tied it up once. My bishop's weed is taking over. I've got a juga that's here. We've got some canna lily, my spirea. I have to show you guys our experiment that we did. I don't know if you saw this video yet or not. The one where we propagated hydrangeas. They're actually alive. So I'll show you guys that as well. So this area that has my oak leaf hydrangea and 2 of my smooth leaf hydrangea. I got a euonymus behind there. Yeah, I mean, I love it. This is done for its first set of blooms, and it's heading up for a second set as well. So let's give you a little bit of a pan out view of this. It's like my most opportunity for improvement, if I must say. So I like the shape of the beds and everything. I just don't like the two raised beds that I have there. Nothing grows that well in it. And I also need to probably start transitioning the plants here for more part shade plants, given the size of the willow tree. But our echinacea that we transplanted earlier in the spring is actually blooming. Yay, so it's alive. Both of them actually is blooming. And then over here, let me turn the camera a little bit so you can see. Our hostas are looking great. And guys, I made a very critical decision as a gardener, and I should know better, but I'm not sure what I was thinking. But my geraniums that I planted, they're all alive and all of that, but they should go in more sun. I've got them on like part shade, so they're barely flowering, and they could be bigger. So a project I'm going to be doing is taking these out and putting in the containers at the front of the house, just because we can get some good blooms on this year. See how small they are? Usually by now they should be like pretty big, but that's because I planted them in too much shade. They should be more in a sun area. And these hostas are starting to look really, really nice. I'm doing it like a mixed border hosta in this area here, and they are looking really nice. I think this one is stained glass that I have here. I'll have to label all of these so I can remember all of their names, because guess what? I started collecting hostas. I want to say I probably have maybe about 20 varieties so far in the yard. Overview of the willow tree bed area. Sorry about the hose, everybody. I can't get it to go in properly. But the American Beauty berry I want to show you. Do you see how many berries are on it? This is going to be in purple in like a couple of months, probably September, October-ish. This is my firelight, quick fire hydrangea. Don't like how the branches don't stand up. Bishop's weed, which should give some white flowers soon. And this is a juga, which I'm going to be pulling some of these out, potting them up for the plant sale soon. I have a little bit of organization to do. This project you'll see coming up later. I got these two pillars and the pots from an estate sale, but we're going to be making over this whole area, so stay tuned for that project. And then the hostas are looking great. Geraniums, yep, I need to transplant them, guys. And I want to show you the echinacea that we transplanted, see how it's growing. Oh, my Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus as well. And then this one here, I believe it's Harlequin, David Austin Rose. May need to transplant that as well. Everything just looks like a jungle in this area, but I'll reorganize. This dahlia I grew from seed last year, and it came back. And as you can see, this echinacea is also flowering. So we're at the back garden right now, and guys, overview, jungle, right? It's a jungle. Let's just admit it's a jungle, but it's okay. So let's walk you through the arch. We've got rose, hyacinth bean that's growing up really nice. Over there, our grapes are ready to be picked. Guys, I think this is muscadine because I ate it and it tastes like muscadine, but I swore I didn't buy muscadine. Kiwi plant. Blackberries are done. More grapes. I gotta tie all of this up. Overview of the shade garden area. My huge plant stash right there. So I'm in my part shade area, my makeshift garden that has my wheelbarrow display and some other pots and things like that, and my quote-unquote plant stash area too as well. So I wanted to give you an overview. This black-eyed Susan self-seeded last year in a container that I had, and I forgot to move it, so now it's anchored down on the ground because the roots have anchored in, you guys. But it looks amazing, right? So I'm just gonna let it do its thing. And I've got a bunch of Heucheras as well here. My spider plants have spider babies, you guys, so I've got to free those as well from the Rebecca. But it's looking really great. Over here on the back side, we've got our what do you call it, olive that's here. We got a mulberry plant, fruit cocktail, more plants over here too as well. I just planted some more plants in this area. So let's start, just to give you a little bit of an overview over here. I have to say the Rebecca looks awesome, right? It looks really amazing. So my wheelbarrow planter is looking pretty good as well. So are all my Heucheras. Some of the things have a little bit of a sun scorch, which I am going to have to come trim a couple of things up as well too. Rebecca is looking good. I got some Mahogany Splendor as well over in this area here. And let's show you my shade container display under the crepe myrtle tree as well too, as we're here. Guys, if you see sweat on me, it's because it is so hot outside, so hot. So this is end of July display of our shade container garden area that's under my crepe myrtle tree. I'll pan out so you guys can see it, but everything is just doing amazing. I've got some, next year I'm going to grow these orange sun patience again. I love the orange. The pink seem to be a little bit water hungry, but the orange is doing great. I've got a bunch of Heuchera. I've got some Geranium, got Brunnera. This is my glorious coleus that we grew from seed, and I've been pinching them back so that they can kind of bush out for me. That's why they look so thick, is because I've been pinching them so that they can bush out instead of being one or two stems. Over here is my I think it was dark night coleus as well too. I'm gonna try to overwinter that one because it is such a beautiful plant. Over here I've got some grasses, Heucheras. My maple is getting a little bit scorched with the sun, but that's to be expected this time of the year. But everything is looking really great. I want to show you this container with the sedum. So we planted the sedum so it could trail down, and guys, that's exactly what it's doing, is it's trailing. So shade garden, these are all just my plant stash, but I want to show you a close-up of the wheelbarrow. Rebecca are stunning. And then this one here, I want to show you Indian summer. I also planted back here, and it's doing great too as well. And a backup look of the crepe myrtle tree. And you don't see everything until you actually walk back there. People miss this part all the time because with the gate when they're coming in. How stunning are the coleus. And this orange sun patient. I love this coleus. Oh, I just realized, look how beautiful that Heuchera is. Just a stunning view. Guys, did I mention how hot it is? Alright, so this is my part of my shade garden area. So I've got over here this chartreuse color is my Sun King Aurelia. More hostas. I've got lamb's ear. I've got some fern. I've got some Japanese forest grass. Our latest project where we planted up the Japanese maple in a container and we elevated it for drainage. And then we also did this project back here as well. Everything is still surviving. And then I've got some elephant ear that keeps coming back every year, so that's what you see back there. More Heucheras, and the colors in the container are actually coleus that we grew from. So our garden scene that we created a couple of videos ago, our container, I didn't realize that this coleus would trail down, but it's trailing down really nice, everybody. I'm gonna try to see if I can save that one too as well. because I love that coleus. It's beautiful. Still don't know what that plant is. And I've got lambs here. We've got strawberry begonia. We've got some hostas. We planted some more coleus in that container over there, which is looking pretty good, giving some good color as well. And pretty good display of hosta over here with our Japanese maple on that side too. So I still have to come, and now my vine is taking over. So I've got to cut the vine back on the fence because it's taking over, but it's also giving some privacy as well, which is great. But yeah, I think it's all looking pretty good. I love the view of the garden from this perspective. I like that you can see the whole garden over on that side. It looks great. All right, let's give you a little bit some close-up of a few things. Are those hostas gorgeous? Look how beautiful this lace leaf Japanese maple is doing. And then we've got more lambs here, but guys, look at this trailing coleus. Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. Gives a good pop of color in this area. This is the plumes from that grass. I gotta come and trim all of this oregano because it's taking over the walkway at this particular point. This hosta is amazing. I'm gonna have to pop the name of that one on the screen. Oh, I meant to show you guys I'll pop the name on the screen because I can't remember off the top of my head. It's blooming. This comes back for us every year. I got this from the Chattahoochee Nature Center sale last year. It's gorgeous. Guys, how stunning is this view? This thing is going to fall. I'm going to have to reposition that. I'm going to give you a quick spin of the vegetable garden area. Again, everything totally overgrown. Can't tell where anything starts, when anything stops. I've done a little bit of cleanup, but everything still looks messy because it's July, everybody. I do have a cantaloupe I want to show you guys. Oh, look, see? There's a cantaloupe, everybody. I gotta make sure that nothing comes and get it. So there's one there. Oh, there's another little baby one right there. Hopefully nothing comes and eat it, so I'm gonna have to come watch this every day. Oh, here's another one. Oh, how cute. I have picked a lot of cucumbers already. Guys, I don't even know what I'm looking at here because everything is such a jungle. Maybe this part here you can see a little bit better. Our Rebecca we grow from seeds. They're looking great again. Our Joe Pye weed. This is my rose, and my Joe Pye weed, which is one of my favorite perennial. It's actually blooming. Our Mexican sunflower is blooming as well. I harvested tomatoes and things like that a couple of days ago. Guys, this is what it looks like, a jungle. Now, here's I'm going to show you what happened this year with my pinnacle hydrangea. They were all doing great, all right? Then we had a heavy rainfall, and look at the size of the blooms, and they all fell over. And now it's not coming back up. So I'm going to pick a couple of them to dry. But look at the size of this bloom. This is my hand holding it up. It's heavy, so it's not going to stand up. So I am going to pick some of them to dry, and I may leave them all because I'm going to use them for some Christmas arrangements and some Christmas container, fall container as well too. I've got lots of tomatoes I got to come pick. Ground cherry has a lot of ground cherries on there. I need to come pick that too as well. But guys, the garden is just out of control. Out of control. I meant to show you that the pears are ready to be picked. I don't know if you can see them, but like right there, there's a whole bunch all over. We have to come and pick them. I told the kids that's the job for this afternoon, is we need to come and pick some pears. And my fig is doing okay, but I noticed the rain has washed out a lot of my fruit, which is so bad because I love figs. And they're growing nice and tall or whatever, but the rain is washing out my my figs. And I just came and harvested a bunch of peppers 2 or 3 days ago. I've got a whole bunch again. This is the peppercini pepper here. Tabasco is starting to give peppers. If you can see, there's a lot of Tabasco little pepper there. Jalapenos, got a bunch of jalapenos, Will too. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm overdue to come pick some peppers as well. Eggplants is starting to grow. Not as prolific as I thought it was going to be compared to last year. I do have some eggplants, some Black Beauty to come pick. Oh, I gotta come pick this one and that one over there too, if you can see it. So hopefully that was entertaining, seeing what the garden looks like end of July and all of its craziness, all of its jungleness, and totally overgrown, and we're all dying because it's so hot. Now I just come out in the morning early or late in the afternoon, like after 7, just because it's way too hot. I'm overdue to cut a whole bunch of stuff back, but guys, I do gardening in my free time, and work and everything else has been crazy, so it is what it is, right? Give ourselves grace, because we can't all have a perfect garden with everything trimmed back and all of that, because who has all that time, right? If you have any questions or any comments, leave it in there. I would love if you can subscribe to the channel, share with a gardening friend too as well. Until next time, everybody, happy gardening.